right, hello and welcome everyone. This beautiful spot on a beautiful day. So welcome, you are at an official Tuolumne County Board of Supervisors meeting, and so I must read the agenda item for the day. 3 p.m. groundbreaking ceremony for the Groveland Community's Resilience Center project. So at this time, I'll go ahead and invite the Pinecone performers to come up here and sing us a song.
Oh, they've got their own setup.
Are you close? Where am I going to? Over here?
Come forward a little. Yeah,
Just come in closer.
There we go. That's good.
Okay.
Awesome. What an amazing song. Thank you guys so very much. And thank all of you for being here. It's hot. It was smoky this morning. It's blue skies right now. So thanks everyone for helping us kick off this incredible center that I know will provide so many benefits for the community of Groveland. Right now, what I'd like to do at this time is introduce to you several people that we have here today in attendance. And so first of all, foremost, I'm standing right in front of them, is the Board of Supervisors. So Chairman Ryan Campbell, Supervisor David Goldenberg, Supervisor Anaya Kirk, Supervisor Kathleen Haff. There you go. You couldn't tell what district she's representing. And then Supervisor Jaron Barron. I'd also like to acknowledge retired Supervisor John Gray. He's here. He worked very, very hard in his tenure as supervisor to help get this facility to where it is today. So thank you so much, John. Also today with us is Groveland Community Service District Board members, Board of Directors. So Board President Janice Kowalski. Sorry, probably butchered it. The Vice President Nancy Mora. Director John Armstrong. I don't know if I saw him. Okay, John's not here. Director Edward Spencer, see here? Yep, there he is. Right in front of me. Director Robert Swan. There. Also here is the General Manager, Pete Campa. I also want to acknowledge some very special people that I had the privilege of working on and meeting back in 2015. And they were the group of us who took on this amazing challenge of this new program called the National Disaster Resiliency Competition. And so with us today are several members that wrote that initial grant application. So I'd like to acknowledge them. So Louise Bedworth. Ashley Conrad Seda, Patrick Talbot, Sue Naramore, and then Nathan Kathleen, and then one of our current members who is on our NDRC core team who's working on two of the other pillars, the biomass and the forest watershed program, is Bob Kingley. Bob's here too. So I just want to thank, because it does take a tremendous amount of people to put this together, and those are just some of the many, many people that are involved in this project. And so thank you all for coming out here, and with that I'll turn it over to the chairman for the opening remarks.
Come on, give it up for Mo. All right. what a beautiful, bright day we have here. Everybody cool enough? I see mostly shade out there. I can't tell you what a joy it is to be here with you on this special day in the history of Tuolumne County and in the history of Groveland. And to not only that, but to share it with so many friends and dedicated members of the community. With all that we've been through in this past year, just even the act of gathering in a place like this together to celebrate something positive, that alone feels like a victory. And I'm so proud of this community and so proud of all of you for helping achieve that victory. But this isn't just any get-together. Just getting together is a good thing, but what we're celebrating here today is tangible proof that Tuolumne County is moving forward, it's getting stronger, and our future is going to be very bright with these kinds of projects. And more importantly, we will be more resilient. So I wanted to also thank some of our community partners. HCD is the Department of Housing and Community Development, Sierra Nevada Conservancy, U.S. Forest Service have put so much effort in developing a plan to fund resiliency in rural communities like ours. And we are one of the biggest beneficiaries of the work that has gone into that. I also wanted to thank you so much, GCSD, for giving us some of the land, helping us find the location, and just in general being completely awesome through this really difficult process and sticking to it. I wanted to thank Boyer Construction. I was so happy to see that they won the contract. They're local guys, they live here, and they're going to make sure that this is going to be something that we can all be proud of. I wanted to thank Supervisor Gray, or former Supervisor John Gray, who's in the audience today. I had the pleasure of serving 2 years with Supervisor Gray, and I know him to be someone of tremendous compassion, and he is Mr. Groveland. He embodies so much of the values of this community that he's the person that I go to, and really I've gained so much insight into what the role of a supervisor is. So thank you so much, John Gray, and for making this day possible. And lastly, I wanted to thank Mo Frank. She's trying to hide in the back row there. It took a lot of effort to even get her to come up to be here with us, because that's the kind of person she is. But I'll tell you, the person who was spending countless hours in their office on the phone, working over mountains of paperwork, making all of the connections, and being just generally the focal point of all of this process, that's been Mo. And for any of you that have been in project development or had any part in public service, this kind of thing does not happen unless you have a Mo. And we've got our Mo, and she's here today. So give her a hand. So after the year we all had, we do deserve a little bit of celebration. And although it feels great to celebrate the good days, resilience is, and this Resilience Center are not about the good days. What they're about are preparing for the days that aren't so good, the really bad days. And I know a lot of us here have experienced them. Days like we had in 2013 with the rim fire. It burned 257,000 acres on the ridge just behind us. I'm looking out, and I think most of the people here remember that. It left this entire county so chocked with smoke that our eyes burned, we couldn't breathe, and many of us were in fear of losing our homes. Or we could talk about days like, I don't know, days we had maybe just 11 months ago with the mock fire. Burned nearly 3,000 acres and in just a few days, and it threatened this community. So these are ever-present threats that we have. We can talk about the importance of fire fuels management. We can talk about securing more funding for critical fire infrastructure. We can talk about things like Firewise communities, air attack bases, and resiliency centers. But the one thing we can't say is that we haven't been warned. This is an ever-present threat in our community. The rim fire at the time was the second largest fire in our state's history. Now it's the 9th. 2020 saw more fires that burned more acres than has ever occurred in this state. That was just last year. And it's amazing how quickly sometimes people forget. But I know this group, you haven't forgotten, and that's why you're here today. So it's for these reasons that we rejoice in the important efforts that our community has made to make this Groveland stronger and safer and more resilient. So with that, I want to welcome my friend, your supervisor, District 4 Supervisor Kathleen Haff.
All right. It's nice to see everybody here. Thank you for coming. So today is a day of commemoration. I tend to think of life very symbolically. And this construction now underway for the Groveland Community Resilience Center can be likened to the gestation period of a baby. Only it'll take a little bit longer than 9 months. The physical structure, the center itself, is in the process of creation right here on this spot. Just think of it. However, this process actually started a long time ago when many of you came together in the planning process. The goals that you set for the Resilience Center were incorporated into the design. In a nutshell, what you, the Groveland citizen planners, envisioned was a facility that fosters social cohesion, provides a variety of services, programs, and outreach, is a place to learn new skills, or to celebrate an event, or to connect with others. So, in about a year, this building, complete with beautiful grounds and an expansive parking lot. Can you imagine an expansive parking lot? Well, it'll be finished and birthed into this world, continuing along with my symbology here. Like any good parent or guardian, it is up to us to be the best caretaker possible. How will we nurture the well-being of this new facility? This is a question for each one of you to ponder in the months ahead. So, what do we want this center to be in the world? Fortunately, we have some time to prepare. Last week, I asked a handful of thoughtful community members what they envision for this center. Here's a sampling of the inspiring thoughts I received, and I'm going to read these. From Shirley. The Resilience Center represents a coming of age for our community. Groveland plays a vital part in the economic success of our county. I hope to see Groveland recognized more fully for the availability and quality of events and activities that will be hosted here, and to see more of our neighbors and friends in this new gathering place. From Rick. I'd like to see a much-needed facility for residents who would suffer the most and seek relief from hot spells, cold spells, and planned or non-planned power outages. Also, I envision the center as the new venue for this community's annual Thanksgiving Day feast, a tradition that has been going on for 35 years. From Virginia. We will enjoy having a real community center with meeting rooms, heating, and air conditioning. And a good place for the Little House Southside Community Connections activities. I'd like to see educational offerings as well. This week also highlights the need for a cooling center. And from Catherine, the Resilience Center will provide a safe haven for our community members during emergency situations and give them peace of mind. In addition, it will be a center where classes, programs, and events can take place. This long-awaited gathering place will be a benefit to all. From Pete, I would like to see more food grown and produced locally, and the Resilience Center's commercial kitchen will be a wonderful way to encourage that. Also, since the Resilience Center came about as the result of the Rim fire, I am hopeful that classes and lectures will be offered on topics related to fire. For example, fire preparedness, fire protection, and even firefighting. And from Lucy, this Community Resilience Center marks a new chapter in Groveland and in the services and resources that will be available to people living in the Groveland Big Oak Flat area. We at Southside Community Connections look forward to working with the county to make this facility a vibrant, functioning part of our community and hope we never have to actually use it during a disaster or emergency. But we're glad it will be here for us should one occur. And finally, Joy states, number 1 on my wish list is community communication, person to person. We get more information, connection, and comfort directly from another human. This place needs to be a connection point for whatever is needed: food, transportation, medical, and music. I believe a really good bakery is the center of the universe. And she goes on, and a warm heart of every successful town I've ever lived in is a bakery, where people naturally gravitate. Resilience is dependent on the condition of the heart, the want and the will. The basic needs met, good food and friends, resilience abounds. The community center needs to be like this. Now, this project would not be possible without the congenial partnership between the county and the Groveland Community Services District. And we've already acknowledged that, but I don't think you can acknowledge it enough. I would like to thank GCSD's board and staff for their generous donation of this, one of the parcels that comprises this property. And I would like at this point for the GCSD board and staff that are currently present to please rise so we can applaud you. All right. It is my intention to continue strengthening and deepening our collaboration with one another, the county and GCSD, to accomplish even greater things for the Groveland area. Whether it be for increased fire preparedness, working together to build a trail, or more than a trail, or you fill in the blank. And really, I'd like to hear what you have in mind. Okay, finally, all throughout the development of this facility, we have had one leader, one constant companion guiding each phase of this process, kind of like a midwife, who ensures the well-being and vitality of a healthy baby when it is born. At this time, I'm going to ask Maureen Frank to please come up to the podium. She's going to be a little bit resistant, but we're going to stand and applaud her. Okay.
Come back in.
So I really wanted her acknowledged and recognized for all of her years of service and devotion to the birth of this new creation. So in closing, thank you all for being here, for witnessing and acknowledging the importance of this new center, and for your continued collaboration in making this gathering place a magnet for resilience, community building, and connection. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. It takes a huge huge amount of effort, and it's done by so many people who have a hand in this. You know, it was from the community in which the concept was developed and flourished, and it was a group of people who then, the architects and the construction managers and the contractors who then took that work and started to make it reality, as we're starting to see here. So at this point in time, for me, I'd like to acknowledge some of the people along the road that really helped out in this project. And what we have is a commemorative paperweight that celebrates both the dedication of the Tuolumne CRC and the Groveland CRC. So with that, I'm going to ask the Board of Supervisors to help me out in a minute. But let me give out the first 5. Hold on a second. So first and foremost, as a staff person for the county, you know, it's amazing when you come to your elected body with an idea and a concept and say, come with me. I didn't have to ask very hard. They're an amazing group of people to work with and to work for. And I'm so thankful to have them on my team, for me to be on their team. And so at this time, I'd like to acknowledge all 5 of the supervisors. So Supervisor Campbell, Supervisor Kirk, Supervisor Haff, Supervisor Goldenberg, and Supervisor Jaron. Thank you so very much. So next on the list, someone who's been extremely supportive also, she couldn't be here because of family reasons, is our County Administrator, Tracy Riggs. She's very sorry that she couldn't make it today. She sent all her best, but this time I'm going to hand it over to Eric Earhart, who is our Assistant County Administrator. So, sorry, she's doing your job for you.
Oh, we're supposed to do.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We can keep going. Okay. There you go. So I'll try to make this fast because I know it's hot. So again, just like Supervisor Haff and Supervisor Campbell mentioned, we would really like to acknowledge Groveland Community Service District. It is an amazing partnership, and we're so glad to have you as our neighbor, and we look forward to that. So Janice, if you don't mind, we would like to give on behalf of the county to GCSD. There's no one. They have their names on it. I have them labeled. Sorry. Another great partner that we've had is and that was mentioned by Supervisor Campbell, has been Housing and Community Development. So for Sue and Patrick, I thank you and all your other staff members that have been so tremendous in walking through the requirements of HUD that have not always been easy for either one of us, and so we really appreciate it. So Patrick, if you can come up.
That's who that smiling face belongs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, they haven't met you. They've only seen you on the video. So they were glad to meet you today. Another partner in crime that I have working with me on these projects, and again, she's very sorry she can't be here today. She actually took a week off for vacation, so I applaud that, is Terry Cox Consulting, and she's just been amazing on this project. Another amazing group of consultants that I have the privilege of working with is Lori Adams and her groups, Adam Ashby. So Lori, can you come up? They're helping us on the neighborhood stabilization program.
That's where we got the rest of the money to make it possible.
Yeah. So the concepts were great and they were incredible, but a group of people took those concepts that they heard from the listening meetings that we had, put them to paper, and did the design work. So at this time, I'd like to call up Linocus Architects. So Mike Davey, Will Sandusky, and then Sarah Maynard could not be here. Come on, you two.
How many do we hand out? All at one time?
4. So 4 to give to them. There's only, yeah. Okay. Next, I have a crack crew that is watching out for things on behalf of the county on the construction site, and it's Roblin Construction Management. I can't say enough good things about them. They've been just incredibly awesome. So I don't know if Bob made it up today. Okay, so for Marcia, Bob Comey, Sean Stroman, and Tony Gonzalez. If you guys can come up. Sean. It's only 3. It's only 3. Thank you, guys. Okay, here's the group. Your local construction team on this project is Robert Boyer Construction, and it's been said before, it's awesome to have a local contractor work on a project that means so much to our community. You see it every day when they come to work. They're putting their heart and soul into this project, and it shows. Whenever we come up with an issue or a problem that arises, we work together collaboratively to resolve the issues, and it's just such a refreshing change, especially for someone who just came off the jail project, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with that, yeah.
Not in the jail.
Not in the jail, just from the jail project, yeah. So with that, I would like to acknowledge and thank, and if you guys can please come up, Robert Boyer, Lisa Chamberlain, Jesse Olivia, Jeff Silva, Billy Kurlick, Clinton Johnson, and Russell Croker. I know there's a few that are not here. Yeah.
Oh, no. They're going down.
He's not going to do it. It's okay. So I just want to say thank you so very much, everyone. It does take a community to build a community resiliency center, and as Kathleen was talking about it is something that was spearheaded and provided through your comments that we heard in listening sessions, and those were incorporated.
John Gray.
Oh.
That's his.
Does it say that?
Just
Okay. Okay, so I have one more to give out. They told me I have one more to give out. This is someone who I've already mentioned before, but is extremely special. When we started on this project, we didn't quite have enough money. And the state was saying, really look, you need to decide which center that you want to build. And the board was, no, these are important facilities. These are important to our communities. The communities are extremely different in their needs and their wants, and we fought hard and explained why we needed 2 centers, and the state was so gracious, and they went out of their way to find additional funds for us, and that was the neighborhood stabilization funds, where we got an additional $5 million, and that was just incredible to make both centers what we are going to see in about 14 months. But in doing that and accomplishing that was the Board of Supervisors behind us. And one of them that made such a huge difference is Supervisor John Gray. Thank you. John?
You want to hug? I'm going to get a picture of
This is my son.
Grandson.
Thank you, John. Oh!
son, grandson.
So with that, I know you guys have endured the heat here. We just need to do some closing. After we do the closing, I would really appreciate if the Groveland Community Service District board members and the Board of Supervisors go over to the shovels to the area, and we'll take our picture and have that done. And thank you so much. So with that, Supervisor Campbell.
All right, so I have the hard part here. This meeting is closed. Thank you all very much.